Too many mortgage brokers are focused on telling people they are building something than actually building the business. If you keep projecting to the world that you're successful instead of actually pursuing it, you're going to stay stuck in this kind of performance mode, which honestly does make me cringe at times. You're busy branding yourself, trying to be deep and introspective instead of actually doing the work, the real work that needs to be done. Let me show you the mindset shift that helped one of my clients stop spinning those plates that were just a waste of time and finally hit those multiple six figures with calm, consistent business. And my name is Borland. I help mortgage brokers simplify success with clarity, content, and confidence. So let's get straight into it. So a while back, I had a broker who came to me. Now, she was posting on social media every single day, but a load of rubbish stuff. It was all talking about mindset, work ethic, ambition, all the buzzwords. And from the outside, it looked like she was absolutely smashing it. But behind the scenes, pure chaos. There was no systems. There was no real income growth. It was just noise. And she said to me, Ash, I'm building something bigger. Honestly, I hate those moments because I asked her, I said, look, are you actually building something? Or are you just branding the idea of building? And that question hit really hard and it was a bit uncomfortable. And yes, it was hard at first, but fast forward 6 months later and she stopped trying to be impressive and look impressive to other people. She started actually doing what I call the unsexy work. So the structure, the clear content and client journeys, the daily sales habits that actually move the needle forward. Now, quietly now, she is earning more. Yes, she is posting less business mindset trash, in my opinion, and instead is posting more content related to mortgages, and the business is thriving, and she no longer feels like she's a performer and pretending to be something she's not. Now, if that is something that you relate to and that kind of hits home with you, then you're not alone. Quite a lot of people feel very, very similar. It's why I'm going to go through now 5 things that, one, I kind of spoke to her about, but also I speak to many advisors about this exact same thing. So the very first one we have is visibility does not equal progress. Okay, it doesn't always equal progress. There's different ones. So just because you're being seen doesn't mean you are succeeding. Now, there are very, very, very differences between being seen and actual success. Being seen by the right people absolutely is going to push the needle forward, but being seen by the wrong people isn't going to push the needle forward. And this is one of the things that we often get, is that we need to be seen by the right people, but also for the right reasons. Okay, it comes from people seeing us as a mortgage advisor. We want people to know us as a mortgage advisor. I am a mortgage business coach. You don't want to be seeing me talking about fitness. No one cares about that. If I was a PT, you probably would. But I'm not a PT, so you don't want to hear me talk about that. And that's the same thing for mortgages. If you're a mortgage broker, talk about mortgages. Yes, you can sprinkle in a bit of personality. Yes, you can share some stuff, but be a mortgage broker first. Because remember that, yes, those things do get likes. That other stuff might get likes, but likes don't pay the bills. Clients pay the bills. And so you want to make sure that you are constantly being the person that gets clients. And you're going to get clients by talking about stuff that actually makes it interesting to them. So true brand equity, it comes from being consistent, not just by looking active and just spinning plates, which is really annoying. Now, the second thing to point out here is most entrepreneurs, they're just busy hobbyists. And this is going to ruffle some feathers if you listen to it, whoever this may be. This is not aimed at anyone in particular, but if you are that way, that's kind of what they are. We know these types of people. They're chasing, and I've got notes on here, they're chasing 3 ideas. They're finishing none. Do you know what I mean? They're chasing 3 things. They're not really doing any of them great. They're doing most of them well. They like to feel like I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business leader. Great. But imagine if you actually put all that effort into one thing. What if you actually decided that I'm going to smash that today? I'm going to put all my effort into just being the best mortgage broker instead of trying to be a mortgage broker and then a part-time motivational speaker or whatever. I mean, there's loads of people. We all see them. It's one of those things. It just doesn't really make sense to me. It really doesn't make sense. You're diluting your success. Also, these people, and I love this, a bit of motivational quotes instead of building systems. If you're posting stuff about motivation and seizing the day, don't be wrong. I love a motivational quote just as much as the rest of everybody. I love it. But if you actually look at my content, my motivational quotes are related to what I do. So my quotes are actually just quotes from podcast episodes. Most of the stuff, it's pretty boring. But it's worked, and it's worked consistently year after year after year after year. Don't get sucked into the whole crappy, boring quotes. It doesn't look good. It doesn't make you look deep. It makes you look shallow. It's the same people who go, to find themselves traveling, thinking it makes them unique, whereas every other person has all swam with a whale shark and been to a full moon party. It doesn't make you kind of unique and different. It makes you like everybody else. Try and be unique and different. And guess what's unique and different? Doing the work and sticking to something absolutely does matter. And these people, by the way, they're the ones who don't track the numbers as much as you think. They track the followers, because the thing that matters to them is the clout. Don't be that person. You don't care about the clout. You care about the impact. Okay? Third point with this: simplicity scales and drama drains. So complexity is usually procrastination in disguise. I like this one again. I'm going to say it. Complexity is usually procrastination in disguise. We so often get sucked into this idea that we need to be complex and deep. As I said, deep and different. No, simplicity. Just be simple. When you add unnecessary, there's a term that I use with my clients when we use it to our advantage, but it can also be used as a negative. And this term is called complexification. Google it. It's a very interesting term. I heard it from an economist many years ago at an event, and I love it. Complexification is effectively the act of making something more complex than it needs to be to seem more either deep, confusing, difficult, whatever it may be. Very useful tool in sales. Really rubbish when done incorrectly. When you're adding it in, you're making things more complex. Don't try and do that. It's just procrastinating drama. Like I said, it's just not drama. Procrastination in disguise. It's another way of what is also known as active procrastination. So you want to focus on lead. These are the things I'll be focusing on. For me, the only things you need to simplify: focus on lead generation, on sales maximization, and on customer retention. Okay, not your next big thing, not the thing you want to unlock and be really good at. Focus on those three things, and until you've mastered those three things, once you've mastered all three of those things, then you can start looking at staff and scaling your business. So bringing the right people in for the right roles. That's where it works. But until you've mastered all three of those, why are we running off, sign up a podcast talking about entrepreneurship or some crap like that, or anything? We could do anything. Most of the time it's mortgage brokers talking about entrepreneur stuff. That normally seems to be the thing. But like, get good at doing the thing. Make the thing the thing, okay? Make the thing the thing. Don't focus on anything else, okay? It's really important, because the best businesses are boring and consistent, okay? That is definitely a thing. Boring and consistent. This business, I sit here every single day, literally 5 days a week, actually 6, because I work on the weekends as well, to some extent, because I'm an addict. And I will sit here and I speak to calls. I speak to people hour in, hour out, day in, day out. I make content day in, day out. I do the same things like Groundhog Day. I've been in this specific office for 5 years. I was talking to my wife, 5 years in this office, and we'll probably be living here for another 5 years, and I'll be here for another 5 more. 10 years of my life will be most likely spent doing the same thing. But guess what? It's worked. Because it's boring, but it's successful. That's the thing. This idea of trying to I don't have big lofty dreams, but guess what? I hit all my income goals. I do everything fine. If everything goes to plan, I can probably retire. We're very much younger than most. I probably won't, because I'd rather die than retire. But what is it? It's boring. But it's not boring to me, because I love the work. Get good at doing the thing and enjoying the work. Don't constantly try and look for excitement and thrill. It's not from that. Get good at doing the stuff everyone else, because no one else will do it. So if you do it, everyone else will look and go, oh, I wish I could do that, but they won't do it because it requires boring, consistent effort. It's not rocket science, to be completely honest with you. Which brings me on to point 4. Now, point 4 is win the day, not the internet. I love all these little statements. Win the day, not the internet. So set daily goals. I'm a big win the day kind of fan. Set daily goals, around lead generation, around sales maximization, and around customer retention. They're always going to be those 3 things. Those are the things you should talk about, and they should be daily goals. What do you need to do every single day to move the needle forward? I use a Microsoft To-Do app, and that has everything I need, and I need to tick those off. And I have to win my day. That becomes an obsession of mine, and is an obsession of mine, is winning the day. If I win the day, I'll win the week. I'll win the week. I'll win the month. Win the month. Win the year. Win the quarter. Win the quarter. Win the year. Win the year. Win the kind of decade. Win the decade. Win the life. It's really not that much rocket science. And if I'm moving the needle on all those things every single day, compounding growth will take place. We all know this. Well, we should know this because we work in financial services, and yet we don't. We don't do that. We get so caught up in the kind of wrong sides of how this stuff works. Get focused on what is actually going to move the needle, which is winning the day. Your day is where the biggest drain is going to happen. And so if you can focus on those things, and as I said, lead generation, sales maximization, so which is like making the most out of each sale, and customer retention, which is effectively how can I make customers happy so they want to come back. Those are the things we want to be working on every single day. This should be our ultimate focus. And you want to track the habits. Track those habits, not the hype. I'm a big tracking person. I track, like I said, everything on my Microsoft to do for work. I track everything for my own fitness on my Whoop. I'm a big tracky kind of guy. Like, not tracky like trousers. Tracky like I like to track stuff. I'm a big advocate of this, and it's really important. A good day repeated equals a good business. Simple. That's it. Don't get focused. If you're flying off and doing all these different things, you're gonna get yourself caught out, in my opinion, because you're exposing yourself to someone who's a crazy guy like me, who's going to sit in a shed and just work. They're going to go, 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 go. There's nothing more deadly in your business as a competitor who is not motivated by things, clout, or anything else, just enjoys doing the work. That's me. And there's going to be people like me in mortgages, because I was in mortgages, and there's people like me in every sector. I don't do this for the roses. I don't do it for the clout. I do it just to be better every day. And that means you win. And you don't want to, you be that person. Don't be the person who's competing against you, because it's very hard to. It's very hard to beat someone. It's that whole thing, that quote of like, the person who likes to walk more than the person who's walking to get to the destination is going to go further because they enjoy walking. They just keep going. That's me. I'm recording this on a Sunday. And it's 30 degrees here, and I'm still in here, and I'm going to get 3 of these recorded because I love it. Most people aren't doing that. So that's what I'm trying to say. Win the day, and you will have a good day, and you will have a good business. Simple. Number 5 is energy goes where attention flows. So if you want more freedom, put your energy into the thing, okay? Not the appearance of doing the thing. Now, I remember listening to this on a podcast, I can't remember what it was, and it was like preparing for the thing is not doing the thing. Talking about the thing is not doing the thing. Planning about the thing, not doing the thing. Telling everybody how great you are at the thing is not doing the thing. Doing the thing is the only thing that's going to get you further than doing the thing. That's it. You've got to do it. And so that's what we say there. Put your energy into doing it and you will get better. Simple as that. And then guess what? You can make content like I'm making now. All of my content is just talking about the stuff that happens while I do it. That's it. I don't have I'm not trying to pretend like anything. Everything I'm talking about is just stuff that everyone's done. So then I have stories, because we're like, what do I talk about in content? Funnily enough, if you start to do the job a lot as mortgages, you'll have more stories. More stories equals more content. More content equals more clients. More clients equal more stories, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on, and so on. It's really not that hard. But again, it really does matter, okay? It's really important. It's really important. Sales and store, like the whole thing is just, we need to be focused on that. And that does sometimes mean that you want to build your business in regards to your own kind of personal business motivations in silent. You don't want to talk about that. You show the results, show what happens. And then you do that, which is what we did with this woman, which I'm never going to name because she'll bless her, she won't like it. But this specific person I picked for the story intro for this, she is one of many. Many people fall into this trap, and I have to beat it out of them when they come and work with me. But it's hard, and it happens. But once you see the other side of it, you realize it's actually incredibly more freeing. And by the way, I fell foul for this as well at times. Like I remember feeling like that for a long time, and then until I realized, I was like, I can't just be a coach for mortgage brokers. It's boring. There's nothing exciting about that. I want to be a YouTuber. Do you know what's funny is my YouTube channel is monetized. I get paid. I have comments from you guys. I've got a community building on the channel. It's great. All of that comes from me since I actually stopped worrying about it. What a shock. Now I just make content and share it. And I don't care who watches it because it's going to help somebody. And it works. So that's something you guys need to think about. Are you actually doing the thing, or are you just posturing, telling the rest of the world you are? Because if you aren't, someone else like me is going to come along and they're going to steal that business for you.